Well, hi, Gheed. Thank you for joining me on the podcast today. It's great having you here.
Happy to be here, Trina. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Let's get started by getting to know you a little bit more. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I used to be in the corporate world. I worked as a product manager for about 10 years. And then I had
Nice.
two boys, started a family, and stayed at home with them. I took some part-time projects here and there. And now I work part-time during the day while they're at school. And then when they come home, um, I'm with them, spending time with them and taking them to their sports practices and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's
So
a
you're
little
the
bit about
soccer mom. We see you driving around in a minivan.
me. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's dive in. Tell us a little bit about your pain or problem. What type of stuff did it stop you from doing? You sound like, very active person between your part-time work, being a mom. So what type of things did it stop you from doing?
Yeah, I had on and off pain in my back and walking that started when I was working full time and working really long hours at a startup. And pretty it would go and it would come and I could pretty much, rest or and it would go away. Or if I was really diligent about exercising, it would keep it at bay. And then it started to become more frequent. And what I would usually do to help the back pain subside was no longer working. So it slowly became this dull existing pain that never left and would increase with anything and everything I did, unfortunately. And so um, after COVID, well, I said I need to take care of this. I need to get to the bottom of this. This is a nightmare. I wasn't able to do I got to the point where I wasn't able to do my basic day-to-day functions to even take care of myself, just to like bend over and wash my face or pull laundry out of the washer and put it in the dryer or bring groceries in. And even sitting at the computer to do my work was uncomfortable. Walking, anything. There was just, it felt like there was absolutely nothing that was comfortable. Even sleeping, just ever, it was an existent pain that and when I would exercise to try and make it like, okay, I need to, I need to be in
Mhm.
better shape, or it would get worse. So I hit a dead end. I hit many dead ends. And so I decided to really just take control of it and take care of it and go pay attention to myself and seek more expert care and visited different doctors and slowly started to get some answers. It was definitely a long road, but I'm in good hands now. Thank goodness.
Sure. So,
Yeah.
in this journey of, several years of being in pain and like having on and off pain, like you mentioned,
Mhm.
what were the different types of treatments you tried? What did you think helped you? What didn't help you? What were, some of the learnings from that?
Yeah, I wish there was a handbook that someone gave me and just said, here's if you have back pain, here's what to do, not to do, and how to take care of it. But it's not out there. Everybody has different answers. Every doctor has different answers. And um, that's really, really challenging. So I tried a chiropractor. Um, and that's when my pain wasn't so bad years ago, and it seemed to
Mm-hmm.
help, but then it seemed to not also go away.
Mm-hmm.
I tried um, when I was uh, doing sports. I used to train in jujitsu. I didn't
Nice.
have the back pain, and I assumed that was because I was in really good shape. My muscles were all balanced, and so it didn't appear. Um, but I did at times, if I took a break from training, then go back to training, it would appear, which was
Mm-hmm.
really confusing to me. So I did, at that point, I was working with a sports therapist, and she did needling, she did adjustments. And the needling seemed to help just release
Mm-hmm.
the tightness.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was the problem. So I went down the road of like trigger point injections, and that would relieve it. But I still
Mm-hmm.
had I still had a core problem, a root cause, and I didn't know it. So it would come back again. So I tried um, the trigger point again, and then I finally, when I would go try exercise again and push through the pain, thinking that it's the muscles aren't, you know, balanced again, or something's out of whack again. So
Mm-hmm.
then I finally went to a regenerative um, regenerative specialist, orthopedic
Mm-hmm.
specialist,
Yeah.
um, who ordered x-rays and MRI and was able to define um, what was going on and with my SI joint and spine. And that's where I was able to start actually moving towards a
Mm-hmm.
solution.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sounds like you've been through quite a journey there, and I totally agree with you with what you said about the handbook thing. I feel like we need it for every challenge that we come up in life. You know, if there was a handbook for that, it would be perfect.
Yes, this is
Uh,
true.
yeah, but so tell me, how have things
Mhm.
changed since you started, working with us using the McKinsey method? How have things changed for you?
Yeah, it was a game changer. So I I did experience a few months of standard physical therapy. And when I switched to Health Watchers, it was a fundamentally different experience and on many levels. And so it was like the targeted care of working with my spine and my skeletal system, um, and in a very unique, different way that I didn't experience with standard physical therapy, as well as
Mm-hmm.
the one-on-one personal time for the entire session. And um, that to me was a game changer, just to be able to ask you questions and get to know you, and you get to know my situation. And so the personal care and the full hour being together, and the type of the treatment plan is just so different that it was just a breath of fresh air, and a really really it was a relief, just even from like the first appointment and talking to you, just to have that certainty that you knew what was going on, you understood it. It wasn't difficult, it wasn't challenging, it wasn't unique. It was like, okay, I know what this is, and I know a way we can get to getting you um, back to where you need to be, which I haven't heard at all in this whole process. So um, that was a huge relief, and I would love other people to experience that who are at their wits end like I
Yeah,
was.
yeah. I still remember like the first meeting we had here in the office. From there, knowing you from there to now, like you've come such a long way. You're more relaxed.
Yes.
About everything, about the activities that you do, just the
Yeah.
smile you carry. I think it transforms into so many other areas of your life that we just don't think about, that
Mm-hmm.
it's transforming there. So it's been nice to kind of see you go through that journey as well.
100%. And I will say I didn't even realize how much hope I had lost just going from doctor to doctor, or care to care, practitioner to practitioner, thinking like this is just going to be how life is. It's not, I'm not okay with that. But I
Mhm.
thought I had the endurance race, but when I just realized, when I talked to you, I realized I actually lost a lot of hope. And I'm very thankful to have that back. And yeah, I feel much more hopeful.
Yeah. So what would you say, who is someone who is in a similar situation like you, who is on the fence about trying McKinsey method and is losing hope about their situation?
Yeah, I would say if you have any doubt, you can read the book about it, and also jump on a phone call with Health Watchers, because that's something also not that's very rare. And I researched a lot of physical therapists when I wanted to switch, and
Mhm.
not many of them are accessible where you can jump on the phone and talk to them and ask them your questions and see like how would you treat it, what does the treatment plan look like, what
Mhm.
you can like that was just, so I would say just get, if you want to look into the book, research McKenzie method, hop on the phone with Health Watchers, and just, you don't lose anything by having that conversation, and you can tell from that conversation if that's a path that will work for you. But you don't lose anything, and it's a very specialized type of physical therapy that you'll get answers that you probably didn't find at your general physical therapist.
Yeah, yeah. And then lastly, anything else you would like to add? Any insights, any perspectives you've gathered from this journey, from being on the one end to
Yeah.
now heading to the other side?
Yeah, I would say what's interesting is the process is really interesting because you get to know your body in a different way because Mackenzie method helps you to treat yourself and understand what you can do when you're not feeling well, which stretch to do, or things are tight or painful. Okay, I'm now equipped to do the exercise to help rebalance and kind of just care for my situation in my
Mhm.
own hands so that I'm not 100% reliant on a physical therapist or on a weekly appointment for life. Like I'm being equipped. I
Mhm.
also learned from my body that there has to be some healing pain to get to the
Mhm.
healing that's permanent, which was really interesting to me. It's not just about um, pain from using your muscles or working out, but there's some healing pain that comes with realigning. And
Yeah.
that's been really, it was a little bit scary, but with Charuna, she just said, just walk it off. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
You gave me the confidence and to learn how that healing feels like, and just to trust your body to do what it needs to do.
Yeah, yeah. No, when you are like in a health situation, in a problem, just being empowered, like you said, can make
Yeah.
a big difference. Like it can make the same treatment much more effective
Yes.
if you're empowered and have that confidence.
Yeah.
So, I can see what you mean there.
Yeah, it's very, very much so. Very much. You're my cheerleader, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks so much, Geet. Thank you once again for your time, and it
Yeah,
was
my
great
pleasure.
having you here today.
Thanks for having me. My
Yeah.
pleasure.